Alright, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be going in for a little bit of best of one fun. So, this is going to be probably a new series once a week where I actually build a deck that is purely for best of one, and mostly just for a little bit of fun, as well as the deck and the title may suggest. So, today we're going to be playing a Simic Elfball deck. So, Elfball, for those who don't know, is built around basically the Elf tribe and the mana dorks that it most certainly constantly gets prints of. So, how does Elfball work? Well, what we do is we generate lots of mana using things like Llanowar Elves, Druid of the Cowl, Elfheim Druid, Incubation Druid, which is a new mana dork out of Ravnica Allegiances, and we use Marwyn the Nurturer. And with all that mana, what do? Well, we play more mana dorks. And the way that we go about that is actually by triggering the cantrip effect off of Beast Whisperer and Vanquisher's Banner. So both of these say whenever you cast a creature spell, in some cases it's differently worded, you get to draw a card. So when we play our Llanowar Elves, we draw a card which draws us another Llanowar Elves or something like that. And then the following turn we have loads of mana dorks which then fuel the future mana dorks that we will cast. So this deck is kind of a little bit of a glass cannon. It does need a bit of help in terms of the starting hand and can sometimes be interrupted a little bit. So I wouldn't recommend taking this one into ranked, but it is a lot of fun when it gets to go off, and it basically tries not to care too much about what your opponent's doing. So we have the effects like Beast Whisperer and Vanquisher's Banner. Vanquisher's Banner is a little bit different, the more powerful version of Beast Whisperer in that sense, but it is 1 mana extra. We choose a creature type, which is always going to be Elf, of course. I think we could actually choose Druid and be completely fine. For the most part. Yeah, nearly everything's also a Druid, except for the Growth Chamber Guardian. So you could choose Druid or you could choose Elf. If you want to win, then pick Elf half the time. And it has a Lord effect as well, so creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1, and whenever you cast a creature spell of the chosen type, you draw a card. So what we're going to be doing is drawing lots of cards, playing lots of elves, and using some utility creatures to get there. So most of this speaks for itself. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Mana dorks, draw cards, do that stuff. So I'll talk about the utility a little bit. We have ourselves 3 copies of Stony Strength out of Ravnica Allegiances, 1 green mana to put a counter on a creature you control, and untap that creature. So there are a few ways that we can utilize Stony Strength here. We can attach it to Growth Chamber Guardian, and Growth Chamber Guardian says whenever 1 counter is placed on this creature, you get to search your library, for another card called Growth Chamber Guardian, essentially another copy of it, out of your deck and put it into your hand. So we can use Stony Strength to get ourselves an Elf if we need to continue the chain. We can also put it on Incubation Druid, which says if this one has a counter on it, we get to add 3 mana of any type a land that we control could produce. So we get to ramp up ridiculously. Incubation Druid, probably the key to doing some really ridiculous things in this particular deck. We also have Marwyn the Nurturer as well, who adds an amount of green equal to her power. So if we use Stony Strength, we add a counter to her, which increases her power and allows us to tap with it. What we can also do as well, and Marwyn is kind of the key to making this deck do really stupid things. We can tap her for, let's say, 10 mana, because we've been playing lots of elves, and she gets a counter whenever an elf comes down. We can tap her for 10 mana. We can pay 1 of that 10 mana to use Stony Strength on her, which untaps her and allows us then to use 11 mana of Marwyn. So we can go through our entire deck in 1 turn if we do have Marwyn at a reasonable size. And we have a Stony Strength in play. Pretty cool. We have 1 copy of Dive Down as well, just as a little bit of protection. We only are light splashing blue here. There's 3 cards that generate blue mana. Oh, use blue mana, should I say. And 6 mana in our mana pool of 20 lands that actually cast it. So we're not running too many extra blue spells in here, but it's nice to just have on occasion if your opponent goes for a burn spell. That's one of the ways that we will get blown out a little bit in this particular deck. What you want in your opener, and it's very, very important you have this, 1 or 2 mana dorks, enough lands to cast them, and a spell like Beast Whisperer or Vanquisher's Banner that you can ramp into. That's basically the opening hand. You should settle for nothing less, and mulligan if you don't have that. So it's one of the ways that it can be a bit of a glass cannon, as I mentioned, though. If they do start bolting off all of your mana dorks, then you can be left behind a little bit, not doing anything. And the other ways that you end up not doing anything as well is not having either of these two in your opening hand, which can basically leave you stranded. But other things that we have in here in terms of utility, we have Elvish Clancaller, 2 green mana for a 1/1 that gives other elves you control +1/+1, so this is our Lord effect. She can also pay 6 mana as well and tap it to search your library for another copy of Elvish Clancaller, so we can grab more Lord effects with this one. So honestly, this one might be the flex slot in the deck, mostly because it doesn't really win us the game. Half of the time it's going to be Marwyn with Hadana's Climb. And speaking of, 2 copies of this one. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control. Then if that creature has 3 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you get to transform Hadana's Climb into the Winged Temple of Araska. So as far as putting counters on things, what we can do is the same thing as Stony Strength. We can attach it to our adapt creatures. In the case of Incubation Druid, we can go second main phase. We can put a counter on this during combat, and then second main phase we have 3 additional mana to work with, so if we really need to ramp, this is a source of ramp with a Druid in play. We can also flip it very quickly as well with Marwyn the Nurturer. She is going to be the main source of the Winged Temple's targeting as well, which is 1 green and a blue. Target creature control gets flying +X/+X until the end of the turn, where X is its power, effectively doubling Marwyn's power. So we could use it for extra mana, but the likelihood is if she's got 10 counters on her, or she's a 10/10 anyway, she's going to be swinging over for lethal with evasion, which is very, very brutal. So that's essentially the deck, guys. The mana base speaks for itself. We're running 20 lands because nearly the entire deck is mana dorks, so we really don't need the 24. I could maybe even see going down an extra one for maybe another Growth Chamber Guardian or something like that, but 20 seems to be doing it just fine for me. So 14 forests, 2 copies of Breeding Pool, just to make sure that we always have that blue mana for Hadana's Climb on time, and 4 Hinterland Harbours as well. That's essentially the deck. Let's go into some games. As I mentioned as well, the glass cannon nature of this one means that some games will often do nothing, so I'm just going to warn you now that that does happen, and I won't be showcasing those matches off because they're quite boring if they do end up happening. This one is kind of a, if it goes horribly wrong, just scoop really quick and carry on to your next game kind of thing. So really good at getting your green spell cast dailies with this one, because you'll go through your entire deck and get your daily done in one go most of the time. But yes, other than that, let's get into the games and I'll see you there. Okay, we're in, and we have no mana dorks, which is pretty crazy considering that 90% of the deck is mana dorks. So we're going to mulligan that one. This one has no lands, and this one has some mana dorks. So yeah, we're going to have to take this one. Stony Strength and Incubation Druid is not too bad. We're up against the blue deck. Hopefully that's not going to be nightmare fuel. We'll see. Simic. Interesting. Merfolks. Yeah, looks like merfolks. Alrighty then. So the beatdown's going to commence pretty soon. We'll lead off with the Incubation Druid. What we can do is we can tap it for free and play a Stony Strength essentially. Untapping it, and then we've got 6 mana next turn. It's not too bad. Mistbinder. Alright. So yeah, as long as we get down this banner, then everything following it should be pretty good. Ooh, a Marwyn. A Marwyn. Now, Marwyn represents a lot of mana with Stony Strength. But I think I want to tap the Incubation Druid, though, even still. And generate the mana for Vanquisher's Banner. So now we get to play the banner. Naming Elf. And now we got 6 mana, so we can play both Marwyn and Elfheim Druid next turn. And any 1-drop or 2-drop if we actually hit a land and a mana dork. We'll see. This is all we need, though, to get doing some crazy stuff. Pioneer. Yep, that's fine. It's not going to take us too much to get ourselves a board that our opponent can't deal with. Oh my god, that's so good. Right, so I need Marwyn to hit a land. And if she hits a land, then we can play Beast Whisperer. Otherwise, we'll play Elfheim Druid. Ooh, Stony Strength. That also works. So, Stony Strength, untap Incubation Druid. So we have 5 mana. Now we play Beast Whisperer, draw a card. There's the land. Oh, this is lining up perfectly. Pumping up Marwyn, play Elfheim, draw 2 cards. And then we have a Druid and, ooh, a Growth Chamber Guardian. Alright. So we have got a lot of mana to deal with next turn, so I think we win. I think that's basically how this one's going to go. Merfolk tend to just want to go beat down. They will occasionally have some unblockable stuff, but right now we don't actually have to contend with any of that. So the worst thing we have to deal with is like spell pierces and things like that. And that's just not likely to be a thing. Cumena. Alright. There's an unblockable threat. But we got 17 life. And plenty of blockers for everything else. So if he goes Alpha Strike, it's going to backfire on him miserably. Ooh, a forest. Okay, so we want to go Druid of the Cowl. Draw 2 cards. If we get another Stony Strength, then Marwyn gets to untap for an absurd amount of mana. Though we've already seen 2 of the 3 already, so unlikely to be the case. Breeding Pool. Okay, so play Llanowar Elves, draw 2 cards. I want to use the cheaper stuff right now, because Llanowar Elves is effectively a free cast because of Marwyn. Another Vanquisher's Banner. Alright, so we go 1, 4, 5. Play Vanquisher's Banner, which nets us a mana off of Marwyn here, and the Growth Chamber Guardian will generate us some card advantage, so 5 mana, draw 3 cards. This is all the mana we've got to play with this turn, but in theory we should have plenty to do with it. We can pay 3 off the Growth Chamber Guardian at the very least, and then pay the 2 to play the other one. It looks like we're going to have to do that, because we have flooded out miserably. Alright. So, we adapt. We take action. We grab ourselves another Growth Chamber Guardian. We play said Growth Chamber Guardian, drawing 3 cards. And there's another Beast Whisperer. We've already got enough draw effects at this point, though. Oh my god. What the hell? 21 lands we're running in this deck. 21 whole lands. It's pretty crazy. Alright. So let's just discard the Breeding Pool. And tell our opponents there go. Tempest Caller. Taps all my creatures. So they're going to go for an Alpha Strike. They're going to get one right back. And they will not like it. Down to 4. Scoops it up. What was the point in yo going me if you're just going to lose like that? Oh my god. Well, we win. Pretty sweet. Deck did exactly what I needed it to do. Let's go for another one. Okay, so we're in. We have 2 mana docks and a cantrip, so we're going to take this one. Well, it's a white deck. White decks seem to be the favourable matchup for the matchmaking system. They really want us to play against that kind of deck. And looks like it might be vampires, so it's going to be vampires versus elves. This is going to be interesting. We're going to lead off with Marwyn. Puts us on 5 mana next turn, which allows us to play the banner. And then we can use Marwyn's mana here. So it looks like she's going to die. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Slowed down a little bit. Not the end of the world. Ooh, a Beast Whisperer. Very nice, very nice. So we'll play the Beast Whisperer. Pass the turn. Okay. Bloodletter for our opponent. So we have 5 mana now. We could play the banner and go crazy with our 2 elves. That would really allow us to explode out the gate here. So I think we will. So we get to draw 2 cards off of every elf now. If he wants to pump his Primate, well, he's got the drain there to pump it. Still can't get through with it though, and probably never will. Alright, Clan Callers, that's fine. It's going to pump our dudes, which doesn't really do a great deal at this stage, but it does allow us to, of course, block their guys quite a fair bit. What I do want is effectively mana dorks, and that's exactly what we're getting here, which is very nice. So we'll play all of the druids, which can potentially get pumped up. Ooh, with something like a Stony Strength. Very good, very good, very good. Alright, pass the turn. We're almost at the point now where we want to start swinging. I think it's going to be a turn or 2 before we've got a board that our opponent can't keep up with. So they can swing for 4 in the air, that's fine. And we get more lands. So let's go Clan Caller. Draw 2 cards. Get a Growth Chamber Guardian. I think what we'll do is we'll tap Incubation Druid, untap it with our Stony Strength, generating 3 mana. We'll then play a Forest, and just go a little bit crazy with our stuff. Going wide. And we can even get a Clan Caller here. So I think we will. Last Clan Caller. Alright, now we have a 6-7. I think we're done drawing for now, so we can absolutely swing in with our 6-7. Opponent oopsing us. Apparently it was a mistake for them to play this game. We'll see. Maybe they've got a pump spell in hand or something like that. They're going to need a lot though, because we have a Clan Caller coming next turn. 4 damage isn't going to do it. And yeah, let's pump our army again. That's all 4 Clan Callers. And if we get ourselves a banner, that's going to be the best thing for us. But we don't. Okay. I suppose we can keep digging for one, though. This is nice free hits anyway. Llanowar Elves are pretty cool. All the 6/6 for 1 mana creatures. Woo! Just looking for another banner. Not that we really need it. But it would be nice. Alright, well. Time for an Alpha Strike. Swinging for lethal. Opponent has to block everything. Good game? I think it is. Blocks. Blocks. And blocks. That's 15. Plus another 5. Plus another 6. But it's your -8. Very good. Very good indeed. -4 in the end from the lifelink. Yeah, and that's what goldfishing looks like. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright, so we're on the draw with 1 land and all 2 drops. If we drew 1 land, then this hand is... I think it's still mediocre, really. We can make lots of mana, but we don't have anything to ramp into, so I think that one's a mulligan. This one needs a land, but we can get to Beast Whisperer. Hopefully in a reasonable time frame. I'm going to keep this one and then bottom anything that's not a land. Opponent's mulligan down to 6 and bottom themselves. Yeah, we do not want that. More mono white. Alright. And we got ourselves a land, which is very good. Great start for us. Yeah, this deck seems to be paired against mono white quite a lot, which is very good for us because it's actually a favourable matchup. Bishop Soldier. And more mana. More mana is wonderful. So Elfheim Druid means that we can play a Beast Whisperer next turn, and then we can play a Beast Whisperer off of Beast Whisperer and start going crazy. So our opponent gets their nice early game beatdown. I'm going to take 4 here. But we are very close to being set up right now. Another Hadana's Climb. Less than ideal. But Beast Whisperer down. Blocks these guys nicely, though I probably won't block if he does go for the Alpha Strike. I don't really want to risk losing a Beast Whisperer. And honestly, it might just get tribunaled. Who knows? Yeah, take 6. That'll be the last bit of damage that we will happily take, though. Can't really afford to do any more than that. So, Hadana's Climb could put a counter on Beast Whisperer so it blocks nicer. I think we do Elvish Clan Call. Let's draw a card. I want to try and cast as much as I can in this turn. Marwyn's a very good one, actually. Yeah, let's play Marwyn. Draw a card. And Marwyn's going to be our mana accelerant right here. So if you can't deal with the Beast Whisperer, we're going to be blocking. We've got so much mana now that I really don't mind losing one. And then Hadana's Climb should be able to pump up Marwyn to a ridiculous size. Yeah, so they got the Conclave Tribunal. Let's see where they end up placing it. There is a wrong decision here. That is the wrong decision. Okay. So, we still have all of our engine pieces. All we've lost now is some points that we weren't really too fussed about. So, let's go Llanowar Elves, draw a card. Get a land. It's good. We want a land drop for our turn. We only need blue for Hadana's Climb and 1 dive down, and dive down doesn't seem like it's going to be too necessary. So, we can play Hadana's Climb and put the counter on Marwyn. That generates us a little bit of extra mana post-combat. I'm going to say no attacks, because we're not ready yet. And now we can play a Beast Whisperer and draw a card there. More mana. He's okay, I guess. Alright, let's see if they can kill us, because if they can't, this is going to be crazy. Leonin War Leader. Okay. You can generate all the life you want. I will have a strike at some point. Oh my god. Alright then. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Beast Whisperer. Draws us 2 cards. Pumps up Marwyn. There we go, that's what I wanted to see. We needed an elf there. Definitely. Let's play a land. Play Incubation Druid. Draws us 3 cards. Ooh. Lots of good stuff here. We do not want any more card draw. We will mill ourselves if we go a bit too crazy on that one. Okay, and then tap Marwyn. We'll play... actually, we'll tap her out. All of her mana out now. Before we use Stony Strength. Because she will get counters off of all of these elves. So, let's let that happen. Keep drawing cards. Oh my god. Up to 8. We'll play Growth Chamber Guardian. $30 cards left. There's Dive Down, which we could cast if we wanted to. We're going to Stony Strength, untap Marwyn. Now she generates 10 mana. And I think we just invest in our Incubation Druids, really. I don't think I need to pump anymore. I mean, we could play our Growth Chamber Guardians, I suppose, but... Yeah, we're 1 mana short, actually, of swinging right over for 20. So, let's just adapt these guys for next turn. And we'll play 1 Growth Chamber Guardian, I guess. Draw 3 cards. And dump every land that we see, really. And let's put 1 on It doesn't really matter. Just put one on Marwyn, I guess. And pass the turn. No swings. Dump land, land, land. Spare climb, land, land. All good. What can you do? There's 24 minimum coming at your face next turn, right above you. And if you don't... Ooh. Each player chooses any number of creatures they control with power total 4 or less. Wow, that's rude. Okay. So, let's pick some of our weaker dorks then, I guess. Slaughter the Strong is not something I expected, so they can keep either these 3 or they can keep a War Leader. So we can go 2, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't mind that. Some rebuilding here. And we can block all of his dudes if we want to as well. So he swings. We will dive down our Llanowar Elves so that we can safely block the extra token. We'll take the 4. It was a nice Slaughter the Strong, but it's really not going to do much. Alright then, we want a Stony Strength. Alright, so Marwyn. In fact, he's kind of helped us really, because we weren't wanting to play any more creatures here, because we were going to mill ourselves, so by purging our Beast Whisperers, they've really done us a favour. Let's go Incubation Druid, draw a card. Clan Caller. That's what we're looking for. We want all of our Clan Callers. That's the nice stuff right there. Play Clan Caller, draw a card. And Clan Caller, draw a card. Breeding Pool. There's no real reason to play anything to untap. So I guess we just play like Druid of the Cowl for extra mana. Decent blocker. Not that we don't already have plenty. And we can still rebuild. We still have a lethal threat on board. And yeah, I can swing with a Beast Whisperer. Bring him down to 30 at the very least. Got 21 cards left in our deck. Let's put him up a fight, but he needs another board wipe. A Johnny's Pridemate. That can get pretty big if he suicides his War Leader into my Marwyn. And a Tribunal. Okay. On Marwyn. Fair enough. Well, we have all of the Lord effects we could ever ask for, really, so... we could do... Let's see. Tap Incubation Druid for green. Untap Incubation Druid with Stony Strength. Generate some mana. We can go 3, 4, 5. Play Banner on Elf. Play... Oh, they've had enough. Okay. Yeah, we were going to pull all of our Clan Callers there, and then we'd be just swinging like crazy over there, and there was nothing they could do. Alright guys, well that is going to do it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoy this one. There are occasions, of course, as I mentioned, where this deck can be a little bit of a glass cannon. You know, if your opponent does manage to take care of your Vanquisher's Banners and your Beast Whisperers quite effectively, you can whiff quite a lot. Chose not to include those kind of matches because they really are just non-games that are not really that fun to experience, but showcase you basically what the deck wants to do. So keep in mind that there are a few games where this deck will not win and it will fail spectacularly, but when it actually gets to do its thing, it is quite amazing and quite the show anyway. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, because I do want to do some more best of one stuff for you guys, so the support on this video means quite a lot as to whether or not I will actually continue to do videos like this in the future. So thanks very much for watching guys, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.